Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here, and a very special video going out to a lot of the newer traders, a lot of the newer members, listeners, or maybe even someone who's new out there, hasn't heard about Day Trading Radio. A lot of things happening today. Great start of the week. Even though the market's been sideways, we've been making money 3 different ways, and I want to talk about that in today's video. But to introduce myself, you could listen to me every single day live on the radio from 7:30 in the morning. And we call it the radio, but it's on the internet, but it's on your phone, it's on your car. It's all right. It's DayTradingRadio.com. Any way you can connect into that is good. A lot of people listen to it, you know, and it's a live streaming show. So we trade live. I trade live. Right now we're on 24/7. Actually, watching the futures right here. You can actually go to DayTradingRadio.com and watch the show right there. You head over there. You'll get a pop-up, and if you want to get into the dashboard, just click on the pop-up here. And just put in a username and a password, confirm your password, send that in to an email of your choice, and you'll get a link back for a 10-day open house where you get to use all the products and all the services here, all the alerts, everything. You get to use everything. So when you do go to members area, put in your password, username, and then what's going to happen is the dashboard is going to open up, and this is where it all happens. Alright, this is where it all happens. So you have your own personal trading dashboard where you're watching the show, you have your audio, you have your news, you have your tick strike player. A lot of these things you're not going to be familiar with. But the more important things here, every single trade alert that goes out real time gets delivered to your phone, gets delivered to your email, also gets delivered to the chat rooms. The chat room up here is very important. Hundreds of traders in there every day. Traders in there right now trading. Click on that, that'll pop up. I'm already in there, but if you want to, it'll automatically throw you in there. It says nickname is already used, try using something else. So I use something else there. It'll put me in there as that. And so that'll open that up. Let me actually get over the members here. And I gotta, and then that's up. Again, it is later at night right now. Futures are closed. Everything is closed. So I need to have this 92 traders in there right now. I'm just not in the room yet because I had to pick a different nickname, and I haven't done that yet. So anyway, so there's a lot of cool things here. You scroll on down, and you'll see trade alert box, the rock box, the tradeometer. Now today we're talking about the 3 different ways to make money in the markets. Now I get in here early. This is pretty easy stuff once you get the hang of it and you work together with our traders. Business starts when we walk in early in the morning. You know, 4 o'clock the markets open up, but I'm not getting up at 4 o'clock. I'm barely getting in here at 7:30, but 7:30 gives us enough time, 7:30 to 9:30, gives us a nice 2 hours of pre-market where we're going to see these stocks that are on this scanner right here. I have the scanner here running early in the morning, so you come in at 4 o'clock, it's already going to be updating, real time, updating stocks that are on the move. And these stocks are typically low price stocks under $5, lots of them under $1. And I know a lot of people don't like that. They look back at that. And I could see that, but this is where the money is at that time. These things move huge percentages. We got a couple 100% gains just recently. I mean, 200% gains are not an issue. 300% gains, you see those all the time. I mean, this is crazy how these things work. And the object is, and I actually have a nice little video lesson there. When you sign in, just go to the Rockbox playbook. How to do poppers playbook. If you go to the playbook here, pre-market poppers lesson plan, just go right to that. All right, go right to that. That's going to explain lots of what we do between the hours of 7:30 and 9:30. And 7:30 and 9:30 is our first way. We call it flatline poppers, low flow poppers, things that come out with news. You get a lot of volume behind it. You get in and you get out. All right. Give you an example. We had a few of those today. Let me go back into my archives today. What is today? Today is the 18th. So today we started off coming in, and I had Versus, VS. Now Versus is a stock that anytime you see a yellow circle, this is an area that we were looking at this stock the other day here. I probably circled it. There was a reverse splitter. You see the prices on these. What we're looking for, and Trader RJC, one of our traders, brought this to my attention. And I think it was early on. I think it was around 73 cents. So we got in at 73 cents. And lots of times, again, you could see the follow through. And we hold it just a couple days and we sell it. And this is going to 73 cents to almost $1.40. It's almost a 100% gain. And that's all we're looking for, stocks like that. So this one we had 500 shares. We won 73 cents, got out at $1.09 for $169. Just overnight. And you're not even holding much. It's not even a big position, like $400 worth. And you're making 30% on your money. But you have to be in the right ones. And that's what we kind of teach. I kind of teach you how to figure out those right ones. It's all about the news, the float, the price. But a lot to do with the news, and we'll that's what we do. We go fishing for these early in the morning. You can get in here at 4 o'clock in the morning, start working on them. 7:30, I get in and we start tearing these things apart. That was one of them. Did a lot of these recently, so we've been really doing well. Let's see what else we got in. I'll give you. We had Boeing the other day. A couple new ones. I want to give you a couple new ones. SNES. All right, we got in here. $1.59. Excuse me, right here, $1.59. And again, fits the category here. First little bounce, little volume coming in. Looking for a follow-through day. Like to get $2. Get, I'm not one of those traders who are going to say this thing's going to $10. That's a pump and dump. These be realistic. This is where the money is in the morning. And when you start to see things like this, you get a hold of these things. This should easily continue tomorrow. Probably in the pre-market between 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock before I even get in. This thing might move up to $2. I might have to put an order in tonight to sell pre-market if it does hit a price like that, or else I'll miss it. A lot of times you want to do that. Tip. DTRS tip. Place your orders for these stocks overnight, pre-market especially. That's when these things start to, if they have momentum going into the close the next morning, 4 o'clock, they're the ones that tend to rip higher. There was a couple that like that today. I think Versus was one of those today. Pre-market it ran here right out of the gate. Look at this. Pre-market it was up to $1.25. That was at 4:20 this morning. 4:20 it ran. I wasn't anywhere in 4:20 going to be here. By the time I came in, it was about here and then popped, and we were able to get out a pretty decent price. But I mean, imagine you have an opportunity to get out at $1.20 or $1.30, and when you get in, it's 79 cents. It's cut in half. I mean, basically, it got cut in half. Then it went back up, luckily, then came back down. The object is to get out on these pops, and the only way to do that, if you're not going to be in front of it, is put a limit order in. Aftermarket, good to cancel type of permissions to trade after hours or before market opens. Put your limit price in and hope for the best. All right, and hopefully you get hit. But that's where you get most of those. That's how you lose most of your money. It's easy enough to find these. It's hard enough to be disciplined and go through the whole process of taking them off. Today we did a great job because all we did was take them off. We just want to say, all right, profit. And every time we look back, I put you in this one, ID. Put you in this one early. And it's just by me scanning the markets day in and day out, I could see a little volume starting to move in. I know how it looks, and I know the type of stock it is. If you look at the daily stock, this was really flatlined down here. So it hasn't gotten a pop. The sharks haven't been around it. So it's due for a shark attack. The shark are the pumpers, people, pre-market traders, the Reddit traders, the meme traders, the broke traders, the 30-cent traders. But there's a method. And if you could identify them, and then, in our case, we get to move, we get to promote, a lot of people buy it because they're listening to the show. I give them that. But that's a given. That's where you come from, where the fish are. You don't just go fishing anywhere. This is where the money's to be made, is in the morning. This was actually about 12 o'clock. But I could see that volume starting to come in. This wasn't a pre-market move. And you know what we did? I sold it. Sold it at 55 cents. Look where it went up to. 55. It went up to, maybe it popped a little bit higher. I was right out at 55 cents. And you know what? I wasn't sticking around, and that was a great trade. We made $100 off of that. I was in on that at 35 cents. Yeah, whatever it was. 45 cents. Or 35 cents. 35 cents. Took it off at 55 cents. I have to look back on my entry here. I just only have my today's trades in front of me. So again, those are the setups that we look at in the pre-market. That's when we go to work. That's our first style of trading that makes us the most money during the day usually. Second one is trading the futures. Now, when the market opens up, there's a lot of activity in the futures, and usually we get big moves in the future contract, the MES. We like to trade the MES. This is a scan that's important for that pre-market trade. Now, we're going to show you the tools you get with a membership here at Day Trading Radio for futures trading, futures MES trading. All right. Now let me bring up my other charts. All right, this chart behind here is the MES, and you can see if you weren't familiar with it, I don't really have the symbols up in the upper left-hand corner here. Typically, I used to have the watermark right in the center, but you know, I just changed things up a bit. My throat is getting scratchy at this point in the evening, so I apologize for the dead air. It's me coughing. So what we're just doing here now is waiting for the setup. We have a lot of tools at our disposal, and what we're trying to do is just scalping the futures. Now we could scalp any of the futures. You could be a scalper of the ES, NASDAQ, Dow futures, Russell. You can do anything you like in trading, but we like to concentrate on the main MES or the ES contract, but the techniques and methodology covers everything. So once you learn how to do it, once you see how well we do on doing this, it just apply that. Again, probably pretty good for a good success on trading these. We have two real setups that I'm looking at. Standard divergence, actually maybe three, because I actually see a perfect. See this bear flag here? Look at that, bear flag. I was looking at that fast rotation. I come out of a quad rotation bounce, then a push up to the 20, the rotation up, and this was hanging low. Just looked like these look like some good bear flags here. Just the way we'd look for them. Bigger momentum to the downside. But you know what? We're looking for about 3 different setups on the methodology. The methodology is probably about 10 overall setups. The playbook consists of about 10 overall chart patterns you're going to be looking for. We're looking for like the top 3 in the MES. That first one would be the divergence setup. And the divergence, I'm not going to go into it. There's plenty of education on the site, and that's what we teach every day, so I'm not going to go into that. But when we do see it, we hit it. There was a 5-minute divergence right here. Right here. That was the low of the day too. That was the low, but no, we actually had one at 1 o'clock. Yeah, there was actually a better trade at 1 o'clock. That was a nice 5-minute. Let me see, where are we here? Was that 1 o'clock or is? Oh, you know where I'm looking at? I'm looking at 1 o'clock in the morning. So let's go all the way out. This again overnight. I'm looking at my other charts. Yeah, this was a. See what that is. It says April 18th. Yeah, 1 o'clock. Oh, this is because we're not looking at we're looking at the 1 minute chart. The 5-minute chart is a divergence here. It was a perfect divergence. You could actually start to see it down here on the 60-10. But what I was looking at before, and I'll bring it over towards you, towards the other screen here. This is what we call, this is from the Rockbot channel. The Rockbot channel runs these divergences and identifies them all for you. So if you're trading the divergences with us and you're not familiar exactly where they are, lots of times you'll get us alerted to the Rockbot channel. Now this is just a channel you open up on your dashboard, all right, and I'll show you exactly how that looks. And that's a super important. The 5-minute, I always recommend beginner traders to start using the 5-minute divergence. Now, and after you feel like trading's for you and become a member, a lifetime membership gets you the bot, so you can run it on your own machine. But we want to make sure that you're familiar with trading and not getting too over your head. So let me show you. So we go back to the dashboard here. Here's your dashboard, right? Go down to the bottom here. You see the trade, it says Rockbot. Click on the Rockbot. Launch the Rockbot viewer, and it just comes up in another screen for you. It comes right up, and there you have the Rockbot viewer announcing the trades during the day. It's audio, has audio that speaks to you. It's pretty cool. So that's, you can put that anywhere. You can put that on another monitor. You can move it over. You can minimize it and just listen for it. So that's how you get to that. So we use that Rockbot to identify those divergences, along with myself identifying them live for you, because that's what I'm trading also. The other tool we have here is right down here. It's called the Tradeometer. And here's the Tradeometer. You just heard it go off. I just heard it. And it must be 6 o'clock. Futures are open. Don't get excited, Johnny. Futures are open. That's what we do. So let's go to that. Let's see. I heard it. I heard it in the background. You might have heard it too. Let's go to it. All right. So this was the close here. This is the time frame that the market's closed from 5 to 6. That's why you have this flat line. But I got to tell you, what a day it was today. Look at this. I'm going to actually I'm going to clean up this chart a little here. Let's take the NQ off for now. Oh. I just want you to see this bigger chart. There. Look at that. I mean, that's what the Tradeometer. This is what I developed about 7-10 years ago. Times the multiple time frames in the market. And again, this is on the ES or the MES. Red indicates sell signals. Green represents buy signals. And when you have a choppy market, that's when you want to be trading off of this thing. It'll give you the perfect setup. And even in a bull or bear market, or a very trendy market, once you understand the trend is intact, then you could just take the side of the trend that's with it. So if you have an upward trend, just buy your buy signals. If you have a downward trend, buy your sell signals. Don't counter trend, bots and stuff. This is an excellent tool, but if in news, things get run over because of news, because of strong market conditions that push it beyond boundaries that are technically sound and stuff. And when that happens, you have to realize that that happens, and then you have to step back and wait for your time to trade.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Now the market just opened up.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
That is the Rockbot actually triggering right now. So it's Rockbot just triggered it, and this is right at the open. Futures just opened up, so it's actually looking at that higher stochastic rotation there versus that previous one at the close at 5 o'clock. So these are sometimes a little bit. I like to let the markets get in a rhythm first before starting to look at an opening print divergence. It doesn't have enough data behind it. So I'd give it a good 5-10 minutes on the 1 minute time frame, 10 minutes, 20 minutes even, to kind of let the market get into a rhythm, get the first pattern set up. The first one, again, doesn't have any data to work off of. It's only working off of the close, and a lot of things could happen between the close and the reopen from 5 to 6 o'clock. So a lot of news, a lot of earnings. You got to be careful. That being said, all right, That's what's going on there. So I want to switch back over here. Let's go back to this. So the MES, we trade those again, looking at the divergence setup, looking at the bull bear flag in a trending market, but we're also looking at a quad rotation, or we look at a quad rotation, really the combination of things and looking at the best things and how everything lines up. So you look at this chart, and I just kind of go through it. It looks like a lot of lines, but after looking at them for so long, they start to tell a story. And again, the story is really short. It's a really short story. I mean, once you get a signal, I tell you how to get out. You know how to get out in your first rotation. That's a safety band, especially in a choppy market like this. This was our first. This was a divergence, and it probably was a rock bot setup too. Who knows? And that's where we left off here. So markets just opened up. We're still chopping around sideways, so it's not giving us too much here to work with. So I'd wait on this. Let's see what happens with the market tonight, as I'll be trading here tonight as I get some research done. And again, DayTraderRadio.com. That's our second way that we trade. And typically I'm taking, on a good day, and I'm focused on the ES, I could take up to 10 trades. I would say on average 5 to 10 trades. I take a very small amount, usually 1 or 2 contracts, and that doesn't sound like a lot, and it's not, but it's just to prove the setups with real money, and it lets me also manage the other aspects of the show and the news and stuff, instead of just being hyper focused on one thing and just being quiet. It gets kind of, so I take a position, and we talk about the position, watch the position, not stress about the position. But you'll see the position work because of the setup, and you'll see the money being, and it's just percentages. What you do with one contract, you can do with 10 contracts. If you see a 85% success rate, you start to gain confidence in the methodology, and once that starts working, then you could step up. And there's always a good time to trade. You'll be one day you'll be in front of the market, and you'll say, well, great divergence. This was a great divergence right here. Look at that. This was a nice pullback. I remember this during the day. I was talking about this divergence, and it was a perfect textbook divergence. It had a perfect pushback up to 50, a pullback, nice turn back up on that reversal candle, popped us out of that, and then we rallied. All right, and we got overbought, and then chopped around, and then eventually came back down. And that's why you always want to sell into the strength. Now, you could have sold here, get a little pullback, or you could have sold here. I always recommend selling on your first rotation, moving your stop up to break even, and letting the rest ride. But just understand the name of the game is your time frame. Whatever time frame, that's how it determines how long you're going to stay in the trade. If this was a 60-minute candle and we were oversold 60 minutes, you could probably hold it a couple days and let it go. But when you're dealing with the 1 minute time frame, that lasts 5 to 7 minutes usually in most cases. If it's a 5-minute time frame, then you could talk about holding it maybe an hour. Who knows? I mean, really, I don't. We have to see the chart. We have to see the action. But you get the picture. You understand what I'm saying. The time frame determines how long your trade's going to be. Your trade has to be disciplined and automated in your mind. Doesn't have to be automated on the computers, but you have to be disciplined like a machine to say, all right, I want to take that rotation off, or am I going to gamble? Because anything other than taking the rotation off is gambling. That's the second way of making money. And the third way of making money, day trading radio, is called the high probability watch list. And that's up in the top part of your dashboard here. Just click on that. Now there's a video that goes along with it every week, and it gets released. And this watch list goes out, and it sets up the stocks that we're looking for the week. Now you can see it looking pretty damn good right now. Riley is our latest one. It just hit our target today. I was banging the table on this one as a best bet this week. I gotta put in my username here. Hold on a second. I was banging the table on this. Got us in early in the week. Now I have 300 shares at 27.61. It's at 31.02 right now. Plus I have options. So tomorrow we'll take off the shares. I think my excuse me. Riley. 31. $27.64. 300 shares. Well, $402 on the trade. $402 on 300 shares. Off of this. This is now a textbook. This is the kind of setups we look for. But we're not looking for this intraday. We're looking at this on the daily chart. So third way of making money is the swing trades. And these swing trades are the big ones because the whole methodology, everything we believe in that we trade on short-term time frames, long-term time trade, it gets applied to the best stocks in the market, and we take those. Sorry, the phone there. And someone else who was thanking me for Riley. People calling me up. Yeah, no. So we're going to take the profits tomorrow. It hit our zone today, and everyone got alerted to the zone. And when you look at this, take a look at your dashboard over here. You see the ones in red are the trade alerts. The ones in green are the HPS 40 alerts. That means anything that's on the HPS watch list gets alerted to when the automated touches any of our targets, our profit areas, our stops, or anything. It sends out this email. Riley has now hit 31.06 and has entered the target price. If you took this trade, our system indicates you should consider taking profits in this price area. Review the trade and the HPS site for details of the trade setup. You should, as always, perform diligence before taking any trades. So it alerts you real fast when our targets have been hit. So we did get that nice little pop there. And that's what we're working on right now. Oh, that's not it. Alright, so the other ones here are still active here. The Sherman-Williams, which we have a great move on. We're up a few $100 on that. General Mills, KBS, and the like I said, the SWK is still active. SWK all the way back down here, and the Dexcom never pulled back, so it's still in a watching phase. And 3M is still in a watching phase. And the reason is if we look at those charts, you can always look back at the charts. I had a buy area that I wanted to get. Well, actually, let me take a look at this over here for a second. Here's a good one that's still active here, Pfizer. And watch that 41.55 area. It did break that for a second, and it's kind of just hanging out underneath it. Still looking at this as an upside move. The drug stocks have all pulled back pretty good. And we're actually going to be looking at a couple of drug stocks tomorrow, so kind of an update there for you also. Probably going to make it back onto the HPS watch list probably next week is AbbVie. And you can see this nice pullback, holding the 20. We looked at it today. I said we're going to give it one more day because of stochastic rotation here. All these here, the Amgen, AMGN, same thing. Nice pullback, nice flag, like that setup also. A couple other ones, the TSCO, a great one, starting to break out. These are easy trades. For people out there who would like the more secure stocks, that's our third way we make money here. Trading these more secure stocks, longer term action, only on 2 to 3 setups. Those setups are the best setups. High 80% success rate on these setups. And again, that's what we teach here at Day Trading Radio. So if you want to come over, check out, maybe learn a little, and trade with us, head over to DayTraderRadio.com and you see what you get. Let me switch over. That's the Rockbot that's active right now, but we're not worried about that. We're going to go back to the show tonight, and I'm going to do a little trading later. So hopefully you have a good day, and we'll catch you in the markets. I'm John, Day Trader Rockstar for DayTradingRadio.com.